so every single one of these places had a plane or an old helicopter. And then he would go to one of them that was empty, and then he would flash the laser pointer, and he's like, "That's the fucking stealth bomber." And all these kids are like, "What the fuck?"
This is on some tough news. It's on some sad stuff. I'm sorry in advance, but this just happened. It was at a Dallas air show.
Oh no!
I know.
Did you see this?
Sad, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no. A Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress and a Bell P-63 King Cobra collided.
Oh.
And these are two like historic warplanes. They were doing a demo show for like thousands of people at the Dallas air show.
So they collided in front of all the kids watching?
I'm gonna show the clip. We can show the clip, right?
Oh shit, dude.
I think we have to watch the clip.
Oh damn.
Everybody see it? Everybody see?
Mm-hmm. No.
Dude. The terrifying collision happened at Dallas Executive Airport.
Whoa.
The Wings Over Dallas Air Show was being held.
Whoa.
The status.
Yo.
That looked like a war zone. Like that just looked like when you watch a movie and they're just like the Navy and the Army and the fucking Air Force is all fighting and shit. And it's like
Yeah, that was out of a movie.
It looked like a movie for sure.
What was the, like, whose fault was that?
Okay, so official statements ended up saying that it was an unfortunate kind of mishap of maybe miscalculation and whatnot. They said these are like working planes. They should be, everything should have been fine the way it was. But if you see like other sides of the clips and stuff like that, there's like multiple planes flying all at the same time.
Yeah, those air shows are bananas, man.
And then you could see, you know, I think I remember there's like 6 or 7 planes, and you could see the smaller plane that ends up crashing, like coming down as if like they just didn't see where that bigger plane was at, you know what I mean? So I think there's also assumption that with these older planes, they don't have the certain types of technology that allowed for like, you know, different types of like understanding where you're at or radar or whatever freak. So
maybe they were a millennial, they never fucking learned how to drive stick shift.
That's what it was, I think.
That's probably what it was.
They put it in the fucking report.
Yeah.
It's like he's used to paddle shifting automatic, and on the airplane he needs to learn this. Oh, it's this.
She was a millennial Sagittarius. Yeah. And that just says it all right.
That's oh my god.
Have you guys
millennial
been to-
Sagittarius?
You guys ever been to an air show?
I haven't.
Miramar Air Show all the time when I was in San Diego, yeah. It was sick. My grandpa used to do the Flying Leatherneck Aerial Museum in San Diego. He used to do the tours down there. And he had this bit where when he had kids around, he had a laser pointer, and then he would go like, so every single one of these places had a plane or an old helicopter, and then he would go to one of them that was empty, and then he would flash the laser pointer, and he's like, "That's the fucking stealth bomber." And all these kids are like, "What the fuck?"
He was just flashing at something like nothing.
Yeah, like the wall. He's like, "See, that's the fucking stealth bomber." And they're like, "Holy shit!"
I can't even see.
Have you seen that bit that they usually run at air shows where there's a like one of the pilots, he's dressed like a normal dude in like a tank top. He looks like he's part of the crowd, and he's drunk, and then he just starts stumbling over the border, and then he drunkenly runs to a plane, and the security's chasing him, and then he gets in and takes off.
That's so.
And it's like a bit, but everyone like.
That's an intense bit.
Yeah. If it's your first time, you really do believe that, dude, this guy's fucking jumping in the plane, and then he just like goes and starts flying like this.
That's crazy.
That's a great job.
I don't see you
They
have
should
an
heighten
airplane
the bit.
necklace. And you wear that. Do you have an affinity towards airplanes?
In remembrance of the tragedy.
I know you really like cars, but like, do you like really like planes too?
Yeah, see?
Thank you for answering the question well. All right, so they
Thank you for shielding yourself.
Yeah, thank you for
vulnerability.
No, I don't have an affinity to planes, nah.
Wow, dude. He's like, "Nah, I fucking don't care about planes at all."
It's just a question,
While
man.
wearing a gigantic plane.
just a
around
talk
his
show,
neck.
Ryan. I was trying to fucking pull something out of you, dude.
I think planes went backwards in technology.
You know, hey, I don't even like Woo. I think Woo sucks.
I'm indifferent about it.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever.
I like sterling silver, though.
Unfortunately, 6 people died in this crash, and the National Transportation Safety Board later confirmed the deaths during a news conference. I think it was one guy in one plane, and then 4 or 5 people in the other plane, the bigger one.
The big boy had to be crewed for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, dude.
It's one of those things where, like, I remember when I watched the first clip, because what I just showed was like the news clip, so you hear like the teleprompter talking about stuff and whatnot. But that same clip that was an original file, it's just like a family who's like watching and filming, and then you just hear the different kids.
Oh
that are
no!
like, was that supposed to happen? And then as you just see fire, Dad, was that supposed to happen? And it's just super like, man, like families, right? Kids like go out to these things, so it's like when you put a fucking disaster in front of their faces too, that's like really, really tough.
This is what you do when you have kids, right? I'll tell you.
Okay.
You see that shit, you go, "Wow, that's so cool! Let's go home."
Good show. Let's get in the car. Yeah, let's get in the car. Good show.
It's like when you do when the animals start fucking at the zoo.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, they're wrestling! All right."
Except for all the parents that are like, oh my god, don't watch, oh my god. That never works.
Because simultaneously, every parent will handle it a different way at the same time. So it's almost like impossible to like, because your kid was gonna see so many different reactions.
Yeah, they're like, they're so excited. My kid's like 13, like, fucking dead. I know what the hell's happening.
Joe's probably standing there, is like, hey, keep watching. This is how you do it.
Dude, when this happened, I saw a bunch of shit on Twitter, like in response. So like people were posting the video from different angles and shit. And like one of my favorite things about the fucking internet comment section is like there's people who are like, why are they filming? Why aren't they helping?
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck? Like why aren't they?
That's what's wrong with this culture today, is that everybody wants to pull out their phones instead of help.
Like why aren't they like doing something about it? It's like
Grab a hose, huh?
it's like, oh yeah, everyone. I saw a great response. It's like people think that the people filming are like the fucking Avengers.
It's Thor behind a fucking camera.
Like, why don't they just jump in their fucking rocket?
At that
Like-
point, when you see the plane crash and explode and there's a big ball of flames, it's not like, what are you, there's not much
You're
to
supposed
say.
to run over with a bottle of water.
And the idea that like most people understand that when shit like that happens, if you go running to it, someone has to run after you, someone has to run after that guy, and the chain goes on, and then now people have to worry about other people more.
Yeah.
It's like kind of dumb.
But I mean, they could have at least warned them because they saw them coming. They could have just yelled and be like, "Hey, there's a plane!"
They could see it coming.
I know. No one decided to say anything.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Is no one wants to help.
That's what they call the bystander effect.
yeah. See,
That's what that
they
is.
just said "wow" instead of "there's a plane behind you."
Pieces of shit.
This is the official statement.
Millennials, am I right?
Because they were noting that the P-63 does have poor visibility. Quote, the age of the aircraft is a little misleading. There's a lot of really old aircraft still flying safely. There's airworthiness requirements. Just a terrible loss likely caused by a momentary lapse in judgment or momentary
Yeah,
that shit was going-
it's like a human error thing.
Yeah, human error.
Because people don't like. When I was a kid, I used to see so many air show disasters on the news, and I asked my dad, like, why do they keep doing this? If they keep, my dad goes, "You fucking realize how many? There's way more air shows where everything's fine. Like these things happen all the time everywhere. So like when you see one of these, it's not common. You know, when people
Accidents
just
happen.
People just don't normally go to air shows all the time, so
He's got an affinity for planes, am I right?
they make me hot.
You know what is common though? I'm hearing out in Afghanistan they keep crashing them helicopters. So a lot of those equipment things that we've lost, they can't even use them anyway. And with all the trade embargoes and all that stuff, they can't even get them out of the country, even to other buyers that will buy it. So that's an interesting fun fact.
Is it because the Taliban are trying to fly that shit?
And they just
don't-
keep crashing
and
them.
they're just not trained to like
Yeah.
operate them.
My
Is that
friends
right?
are out there right now making Taliban buddies, and they're going to theme parks together.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that one of the funnest things about it is they told him like, yeah, we just can't sell these things.
I'm just imagining Joe figuring out all this news because he's trying to fucking buy aftermarket army shit.
He's trying to buy a helicopter.
That was one of my questions. I was like, are they getting rid of all this stuff? And they're just like, well, for those and all the fancy equipment, they can't even figure out how to fly them. So I was like, dang. They said they already crashed 4 or something back to back.
Microsoft Flight Simulator, dude.
Simcopter.
Fly anything. You point me to it, I can fly it.
They still have those monster truck rallies and stuff.
Hell
right?
yeah, they do.
Yeah, dude.
Bigfoot?
And people are supposed to die in those things.
Hey, you ever been to a fucking destruction derby?
No, but
Yes.
will you take
That
you
shit's
little
fucking
cool-
bomb.
You take us?
Demolition Derby is the sickest shit.
These are so dope, dude.
I also want to go to one of those little robot fucking fighting war things. You know what I'm talking about? Those little robot wars where
Oh, hell yeah.
Ryan doesn't like those that much.
you don't like
You
those?
saw his face?
There's not as much human sacrifice.
Look, Demolition Derbies is sick because it's a bunch of old mobile homes. And like the people who are behind the wheel are like all wearing body armor and shit because they know shit's about to get nuts. And they drive those things until they don't work.
There was a dope one I went to, and it was like I think it was at the OC Fair, and it was the OC Fire Department versus the OCPD.
No.
And they were using all repoed what? They were using all fucking impounded vehicles and shit. It was so
cars.
dope, yeah.
Didn't they used to have one here in Anaheim all the time? Because when I was a kid, I would watch commercials like
They do,
like
yeah.
the Bigfoot's in town, and then you see him fucking drive over 10 cars. And shit.
Bigfoot is my favorite one, and Gravedigger. I like Gravedigger.
Gravedigger.
Which one was the green one?
That's Gravedigger.
That's Gravedigger.
And the blue one's Bigfoot. And then they used to have those cars like you could get at Toys R Us or whatever. You could make the model pieces.
Yeah.
I never went to one of those shows though. But it was always like during a wrestling, like WWF, like during a commercial or a cartoon.
Yep.
Sunday.
And then you had like Sundays, and then they had Ringling Brothers. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and then that's like not okay anymore.
Yeah, I did that. I did that once, and it felt wrong then. I remember my dad and my dad and my siblings went with me, and we were all like, "This is kind of fucking."
Is that where they would have like the bear with a tutu just hopping around?
Yeah, they had a bear juggling. He was juggling fire.
The fucking elephant that's on like a little star ball that's trying to fucking go across.
Yeah, dude.
Isn't that crazy that was like normal shit?
It's crazy to think that you already had a bear juggling, and then they're like, "But can he juggle knives?
You already had a bear. Like what? How much is?
Why do they gotta make it more dangerous? It's like watching porn too much. It's like you gotta watch some more hardcore shit.
You gotta go dark web on that shit.
I do enjoy watching mice play basketball though. That is a pretty. If there's any
Mice?
if there's any animal cruelty, I condone that one.
As long as it's not female mice playing basketball, because it's boring.
Yeah, so boring.
They have to, they can't dunk.
They can't dunk,
Can't even hop.
and they can't really shoot threes. They don't have,
They can't even hop very well.
And
Sometimes they forget that they're playing.
that's my biggest problem.
They
Yeah,
start
sometimes
cooking.
they just like, yeah.
Stupid.
Start making sandwiches or something.
But wherever they are, they know where the kitchen is. They start hitting the wall. They start hitting the wall, just trying to get to the kitchen.
It's the maze, but to a kitchen in the center.